A lot of people have said that 8 to 10 minutes is plenty of time for one individual to take the lives of 4 victims. And I agree. If this person is familiar with the layout of the house, confident that they're not going to get conked on the head with a golf club by one of the people in this house, and skilled and trained in knife fighting. Hey everyone, it's Lucky with Unfiltered Lucky. And today I want to talk a little bit about something that a lot of us have talked about and have questions about. And that is, how could one individual take the lives of 4 victims spread out over a house in less than 10 minutes? Now, I believe that whoever did this would have to be familiar with this house. Now, how did Bryan Kohberger, if he is the person who committed these crimes, know the layout of this house if he was not familiar with it? Sure, he could have been watching the house from the outside, but you can only see so much through the windows. This would have needed to be someone who knew which roommate was in which bedroom. They also would have needed to know where these bedrooms were actually located in this house. Even if only one of the roommates was the target, then wait, that wouldn't make sense. Why would someone be willing to take on 6 people inside this house just to get to one person who they could probably easily get while they were alone? That seems like a very risky situation to put yourself into for no reason. But let's just say that there was one target, as law enforcement believes that this happened. So even if only one of these victims was the target, this assailant would need to know where this victim was located in the house and where their bedroom was located. Now, Dylan and Bethany never mentioned anything about this assailant attempting to even open their bedroom doors. So whoever did this was not just walking around the house searching bedrooms. They knew where to go in this house. Something was motivating this person. There's a reason why this intruder was inside the King Roadhouse that night. Now, 8 minutes would mean that this assailant would have had to take each victim's life within just a few minutes. And that doesn't even include the intruder gaining entry into the house, moving between the 2 floors inside this house, and then finally exiting the crime scene. We know that Kaylee and Xana both fought this attacker. It was described as one hell of a battle. So this would have taken some time. And we also have to remember that this individual would not be moving as quickly after they left the 2nd floor. They were in a fight with Kaylee, so they wouldn't have been moving as quickly after they took the 2 victims' lives on the top level. It's been said that Kaylee had over 50 wounds, among other injuries. So this would have cost this assailant some time. This also would have taken a lot out of them physically, and it would have definitely made a lot of noise. I don't believe that these victims were overpowered easily. We have to remember these people were fighting for their lives, and that's a whole different level of fighting. I don't believe that whoever committed these crimes walked through these victims. Hopefully you've never had to hear the sound of somebody who is being attacked with a sharp-edged blade. It's not like a normal scream. It's more like a sound that comes out of their body. Like it's more like a sound that they make involuntarily. And it sounds very similar to like a dog barking at a very high pitch. It's not something that could be mistaken for anything other than sheer pain and somebody in an overwhelming amount of pain. These crimes would have been very loud. People were fighting for their lives. If these crimes did begin on the very top level of the King Roadhouse, everyone on the levels below them would have heard what was going on, in my opinion. And even if they didn't know exactly what was going on, they would definitely know that there was something very wrong happening upstairs. These were 20-year-old college students, not little kids. They would have known that something was going on inside that house. This assailant would have had to work around doors and furniture, going upstairs and downstairs in a strange house in the dark, basically moving from victim to victim. People have said that 8 minutes is a long time. People run the mile in 8 minutes. But they don't run the mile while working around obstacles in the dark, in a strange environment, while brutally attacking 4 victims and taking their lives. There's a big difference. This is a horrible comparison. Whoever committed these crimes would be physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted, and they would still need to make their getaway. When Dylan saw this intruder, they would have looked like they had been through a battle. How did this intruder's mask stay on the entire time? It doesn't appear as though this assailant was wearing a ski mask because Dylan was able to see his eyebrows. Now, if Dylan was able to describe his body type, then she must have gotten a pretty good look at this guy. I feel as though whoever committed these crimes was inside this house for a while, in my opinion. They didn't just run in the house, sprint upstairs, take 2 people's lives, and then run back downstairs, past Dylan's bedroom door for the second time, and then run across the house and quickly take 2 more victims' lives before they quickly exited the house. That just doesn't seem realistic. These were college students, but these were grown adults. These people could have put up a fight and made things very difficult for this attacker. I just don't believe that these victims were just sitting there, waiting for the attacker to take their life next. I just don't believe that this crime was committed in such a structured and uniformed manner. I don't believe that this attacker was just moving from victim to victim effortlessly. What do you think? Do you think that this perpetrator just went into the King Roadhouse and basically took all of these victims' lives in succession, like ducks in a row? They weren't moving around. They were just staying in place for this perpetrator. Does that even make sense? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay tuned for my next video, and we'll see you next time.